Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Amy Walter. All right, John McCain just released a new ad. Let's take a look at it.
It was a time of uncertainty, hope, and change. The summer of love. Half a world away. Another kind of love. Of country. John McCain. Shot down, bayoneted, tortured. Offered early release, he said no. Don't hope for a better life. Vote for one. McCain.
Did you love that ad?
Okay, yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Anyway,
yeah.
That's right, Amy Walter. This ad, of course, on the heels of Barack Obama's recent bio spots. Let's take a look at those.
I'm Barack Obama. I was raised by a single mom and my grandparents. We didn't have much money, but they taught me values straight from the Kansas heartland where they grew up. That's why I passed laws moving people from welfare to work, cut taxes for working families. And if I have the honor of taking the oath of office as president, it will be with a deep and abiding faith in the country I love.
All right, so which candidate do you think has a better message in these sort of, the war of the bios?
Right. I mean, look, there's no doubt who has the more impressive story, John McCain. You're just not going to, if you put those two up against each other, John McCain is going to win every time in the battle of the bios.
If you will, the biohazard.
Yeah. If you will. What I thought was much more effective was when you saw Barack Obama's most recent ad where it's basically in response to the RNC's attack on the energy issue.
But he only
just
ran
comes
it in
right
4
out,
states.
I know, and he comes right on out, and this is what he's going to need to do throughout this campaign, is just connect John McCain with George Bush the entire time. It was John McCain plus George Bush. John McCain plus George Bush. We're never going to get gas where he's going to, because it's going to take 7 years by the time their plan goes through. They show them hugging. They show them holding hands practically. That's the message. The bottom line is Barack Obama has this very difficult path to take right now, which is he needs to make people feel better about him, know a little bit more about him, but when he puts that bio ad up compared with where John McCain is, it's just not, it's not going to compare.
I agree with you. I think that the bio, especially the 30-second bio ad, which isn't him talking directly to camera, but is narrated by somebody else, is very thin. It's very, very thin. It talks about him passing a law in the Illinois State Senate, bringing welfare people back to work. And it really comes across as somebody who's running for Congress, sort of a freshman person running for Congress.
Exactly.
That's where the experience was. It's sort of like him back in running for Bobby Rush's seat. But I think there's also some curious things that you've actually mentioned about the McCain ad as well. He's taking on the summer of love. He's taking on the baby boomers, which is a key demographic that this guy usually does pretty well with. Usually a group of people that he needs to win over. So to attack them, I think at a time like this,
just seems
not
sort of
attack them,
unnecessary.
but to be critical. Although on the other hand, look, this is also the summer of love, something that at this point is so maligned, so ridiculed, that it really goes more to Obama. What he's trying to do is not attack this group of people, but the Obama anti-war culture. The problem with that is that Obama was about 4 years old during the summer of love. So where exactly, what the logic is that went into this, I think is a little bit cloudy.
So we're not going to see, like we did with Jane Fonda in the crowd at the John Kerry rally, will we see like that they've photoshopped a little baby Barack Obama in there?
The other thing that's weird though is,
Asbury?
Somebody mentioned this to me this morning. The wording in the Obama I Love This Country ad is interesting when he talks about how he was raised by people who had been instilled with the values of Kansas, which is sort of a circuitous route for Obama to take to get to Kansas. He didn't grow up in Kansas, but he was raised by people who at some point had lived in Kansas. Not wanting to talk about Hawaii, not wanting to talk about Indonesia or anything like that, but trying as hard as possible. And it's a little bit of a stretch, I think.
You do.
I do.
Yes.
I really do.
Look, I also think that you come to a point for John McCain, he also has to assume, he assumes that the maverick issue, or at least a lot of people, I think, assume the maverick mantle is something that everybody knows about, that voters know about. What they do know is the POW thing. They don't know as much about the fact that he is a maverick, and I think he needs to outline exactly what those things were. Here are the ways that I stood up against my party, against my president. The problem is those are becoming fewer and far between, right? Because, I stood up to my party on immigration, even though it was the same one as the president supported, but, I stood up to the president on tax cut. All right, well, not so much about that. How about on energy? I had my own plan. Oh, no, President Bush agrees with me too. So it is one of those things where he needs to get out there and show his maverickness, I think, more than showing voters, again, what it meant to be a POW.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All
right.
interesting stuff. Once again, Amy Walter,
John
you've
Mercurio.
outdone yourself.
Oh,
It's that's it for Hotline TV. That's Amy Walter.
yes,
And
and he's John Mercurio.
And I'm John Mercurio.
Still. Wow. We'll see you next time on Hotline TV.
Bye.